I mean, one thing my dad did say, because I was, they know that I've been doing a lot of work on myself, and I was explaining about, some of the beliefs that I've been trying to address, and this self-esteem thing, and he was saying, and I was saying it, a lot of it comes from childhood, and I was talking about my childhood and his. So we're saying the interesting thing that I've discovered is that you and I are very similar, that you don't have any belief in yourself, and you've almost sort of given, and that was projected onto me as a child, yeah. And I think to a certain extent I've probably done it to my kids, and I said, when you used to say to me, if I came home with 9 out of 10 in a test, and you'd say to me, well, what happened to the 1 mark? It didn't help me much. Yeah. And he said, and we did, but we said it in a very loving, it was a conversation. It wasn't an accusation. Not at all. Yeah. And he said, but you don't know how guilty I feel about having been like that with you.
Wow, that's something, hey?
It's the first time ever.
Amazing. How did that feel?
I was like, again, I think I was a bit kind of, because I have to be very guarded with my parents, with my emotions, because I can really be triggered and hurt very easily.
And that's appropriate.
Yeah, I just said, well, that's guilt that you have to deal with. I said, there's no reason to feel guilty. That's what I said, but you have to deal with that guilt. And then it was only afterwards that I thought, shit. I mean, there's only like 2 or 3 times in my whole life that I've heard him be that vulnerable.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, another time we were doing some personality test, and I can't remember, we were discussing the score, and I said, why'd you say that? And he goes, well, I'm not very easy to live with, am I? And that was the only other time where we've had these like tiny little glimpses of a connection.
How does it feel to just let that metabolize a little bit? To name that actually your dad really does love you, and your dad does feel some regret of some of those things that they caused real difficulty for you, but that wasn't his ultimate intention.
Well, there's, I feel a great sadness a lot of the time at the moment, because there's so much time has been wasted with these, crazy family feuds, and just not being able to connect on a level that I've always craved, that I've always known that I could connect on, but nobody else seemed to be able to. And I wish I'd known that I didn't have to react like I did all those years to get what I wanted. And actually, my mum used to say to me when I was a kid, and I was so hysterical and histrionic and attention-seeking, basically. She used to say,
trying to be loved and adored.
She used to say, the one thing you want, Katie, you make sure you never get because of the way you behave. It wasn't the nicest way of, for her, but she'd say,
there was some truth in that.
There was, and I think back to that now, and I wonder if my kids will think back to some of the things I say.
But also the other side of it is that you get put in an impossible position, because what you get told is, unless you are perfect, you're a failure. 9 out of 10 is not, 9.5 out of 10 is not good enough, and I had the same messaging as a child.
Yeah.
I had a very strong grandmother who did a lot of the parenting, because my mum was working 3 jobs and my father wasn't around. And I was pretty bright at school, but I wasn't like one of those kids everything came too easily.
Yeah.
Same thing, if I got 9 out of 10, what did you get wrong? If I came second in the class, who was top, and how are you going to be top next time?
Yeah.
And it took me years to really unpack it and really make sense of it. But at the time, it's you feel something is wrong, and you feel the unjustness and the anger that something's wrong, but you have no capacity to fix that.
And for me, it made me just think, fuck it. Right. Then I'll just come last then.
Right.
And I did, and I was in a school where, achievement was the be all and end all. It didn't matter how you felt, as long as you achieved. And I just thought, fuck the lot of you, I'll just come last. And I did. I used to be proud of coming 30th out of 31 in the class. Right. And how come I didn't? And I would behave like that, and I would say, oh, damn, why didn't I come 31st? Right. It wasn't how I felt at all. And I would really misbehave in school.
But ultimately, you were driven by the fact that you wanted to be seen and you wanted to be loved and adored.
And that way I could.
Right. And even if it's negative attention, because attention for acting out or getting in trouble, at least you're being seen.
And that's what makes me sad.
Right.
Because there were so many missed opportunities. I was asked to join the netball team at school, and I've thought a lot about this, and I was like, you must be joking. I'm not joining the netball team, and I wouldn't do anything because I was too cool.
Right.
because I was too naughty, because I
Yeah.
was too wild, because, you know, and actually it didn't do me any favours whatsoever. And even when, you know, the best looking boy in the grammar school did ask me out, which was my kind of aim, I couldn't ever make a go of that because I was too fucking terrified of being myself.
Right, and that's the trouble when you get so used to being the rebel or the one that doesn't give a shit. They're all fake selves.
Yeah.
They're all idealized selves. If I'm that or I'm that, and then we become completely unsure of who we are, but also we lack that strength of being proud of this is me. Love it or leave it, but there's a constant stress and efforting that goes into everything.
And I'm still not there. You know, I still
Sure.
have some of those layers that I have to strip away.
But there's more awareness.
Yeah.
There's more stability, and the meditation that you've been doing is a really big part of coming out of, because all of this kind of idealized self and conditioned self and all of this takes energy and it takes momentum, and the more you calm and settle things, the less you're gripping onto that, and the more you're able to relax into who you are that isn't all of that.